evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our Claws and Fangs and Revolvers, our Werewolf the Wild West 20th Anniversary Edition game. I'm the Ravnos Archon. My name is Will, and I will be a storyteller this evening. And last we left off with our group, we were missing one of our members, which happy to say that we have everybody here tonight. We opened up in the Cairn the evening after everyone's introduction. We got to see that there are three main packs in the area that gathered to see all these new faces. They were introduced to each other and to the Cairn at large. They had the Caller of the Wild explain that there might be a silver pack being brought together and that this could be auspicious but also ominous. We had the Master of the Challenge step forward and ask if they were prepared to be tested, and they agreed. And then there were mentions of the children of Yonag that are stirring in the mines, that they are attacking miners because of the damage being done to the mountain. The caller explained the children of Yonag are offspring of a great earth elemental that have started to stir and to cause trouble as a kind of retribution for what's being done. Kora, the Arun of the group, she lived in conflict after this whole situation happened. She had heard about Yonag the Restless. It was a maddened earth elemental that tried to swallow up the city. The tunnels were first opened. The Cairn as a whole came together to try and stop it, but it cost them several of their elders. The Cairn itself used to be Wendigo controlled, and after the loss of the elders, the Red Talons stepped forward to take control of the area and bring order to the kind of vacuum of law and strength. They also learned that there are only two roles, and they have no representation. But there was an alpha from the Fox pack that came over to congratulate Kora on her finally getting her own pack. And we got to see them kind of shift down and head northwest. And then the alpha for the Ravens pack also came over and gave her a nod of encouragement before heading southwest. We are currently in the gibbous waxing phase of the moon, and they were given until the crescent Theurge moon hangs in the sky to complete their task, which gives them around 10 to 12 days to complete their task. We headed back to Kora's establishment in the city, which is the Gilded Apple, where they got to meet Garrett and Layla at the saloon. They had baths drawn for everybody. Some enjoyed it, some more than others. Some did not trust the white man and their science. But Artist got herself a brand new green dress. And then they tried to come up with a plan to try and find a happy median between talking to the spirits and finding out why and what they were hoping to accomplish, and making sure that the town or any more of the miners are not killed. We left off with Pepe and Artis deciding to walk around the town, being just after 11 o'clock at night, while Kora and Walks of Spirits stay behind at the Gilded Apple. But we're going to take advantage of the situation, having the Philodox here. What do you think would have been pressing enough to pull Jonathan away from the Cairn before he could be introduced to what would be his pack? You're here with your aunt, right?
Yes, I am.
Do you think a spirit might have come to tell you about something going on with her?
Yeah, that could be a good way to go with it. I know in my session 0, one of my interests was to talk to the businessman in the city, and I know that I decided not to pursue that when I met the doctor, and he warned me about him. There's that as well. I don't know which one of those would be a good direction to go with.
I mean, we can play both down the middle and see what happens. So, in the evening, as you were told, kind of stick around so that you could be introduced to everybody in the sept. Um, a small spider, a little weaver spirit, has made its way through the forest, through the wilds, almost impossibly trying to find you. Your aunt has befallen a kind of malady, a fainting spell of sorts has taken over her, and this little spirit has, against all odds, made its way into what is the wilderness, the antithesis of what it means to be itself, just to try to find you. And you can see that it has laid a thread, a thin silver thread, all the way back to the city. Uh, and you notice that some of its hard, jagged lines are already starting to soften. It has clearly spent entirely too long in the wilderness, and it's no longer a weaver spirit in totality. It's starting to become an actual wild spider spirit. You can see one of its legs has already started to soften and become rounded. There's little fibers of hair on it. It's every time that it steps with it, it shakes it almost like a dude trying to, shift its his package.
Can I? How well can I interact with this spirit?
And do you
Can I
have
like?
spirit speech?
How was it that I accessed the character sheet on the World 20?
The
Here.
little thing that looks like a newspaper is your
I
journal.
don't.
Or
I
your,
don't think I have spirit speech. I have. You had pressed it for me, right? That's it. It doesn't
there we
show
go.
anything in here at all.
No, you have Jam Gun, Sense Weaver, Truth of Gaia, and Scent of.
But I can't like touch the spirit, correct?
It is manifested, so you could touch it if you wanted to. Um,
Hmm.
but you also know that manifestation costs spirits much of their energy.
Do I have anything that would be considered technological on my person? A mechanical pencil, like for this time period?
Um, I mean, you have your clothing is a manufactured item.
That's not the clothing. Well, I I mean, not sacrificing my clothing. Can I place him on my clothing? Does it help?
A little bit, a little bit. Starts to interact with some of the spiders on your clothing, and you see that it starts to eat them.
The spiders or the clothing?
The spiders on your clothing.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if that what I just did there, but this is cool. All right.
It's establishing dominance, and
Yep.
slowly, it's gonna take over the duties of your clothing.
So, okay. So I'm gonna collect myself. I'm gonna grab my bag, and I'm gonna head into town. I'm gonna follow the thread to
Yep,
wherever it leads me.
sure. And it will lead you all the way back to the Rutherford where you're staying, and you will see that your aunt is on a chaise lounge, just kind of being fanned by an older woman. And when you come in, he kind of steps aside and just very, very cordially, just kind of nods at you and leaves you alone with her.
I approach her. How are you feeling?
It is something that I will have to become accustomed to, it seems.
And what was it that the spider told me she has?
Nothing. You don't understand the spider at all.
Oh, okay.
Just urgently wanted
Do
to
you know
pull your
what
brain.
ails you?
It odds. Um, seems that even here I cannot find any respite from the crimes that have been committed against my tribe. long moment, and she finally gathers her strength and stands up. She goes over to the window. It seems that I am being asked to do something about that, and she points at the mines.
Yeah, yes, I was told that there were problems in the mines. Something I wanted to do about that as well.
Something spiritual, however, is out there. Um, I have a meeting with the Mr. Gentry, owners over at the Gold Digger, next week. I don't have time to venture out and try to fix this.
Mr. Gintry, the one I was warned about?
No,
Okay.
you were warned about Cyrix and the other one, Penterton.
Yes. Okay. Is there anything I could do to help?
Sort of going into the mines by yourself. I would see if there's anyone that could help you with that task.
Well, I was meant to meet the rest of the Cairn today. I ran over here. Um, I could ask around, see who could help.
Cool. I'll see if
I'm obviously lost because we just arrived.
yeah. And she looks at you. She's like, "You said that the doctor was a city wolf. Maybe I'll go talk to him. Maybe there's other cities that we can ask around for."
I offer my arm. I say, let's go together.
Oh, not now, not now. Now, too late. Sleep, rest. He pats your hand, and she goes over and sits down on the bed.
Okay. I will make sure she has whatever she needs, and then I'll dim the lights and I will leave.
Okay. And as you bed down for the evening, we're gonna go back to everybody else, and we're gonna start with Pepe and Artis as they're walking towards the center of town. Excuse me. The outskirts, the surrounding areas of conflict are quiet. There's very little noise and conversation going on. But towards the heart of the city, towards the very center, it is alive. It is hustling and bustling. You can hear the music. You can hear the laughter. Excuse me. You can hear just the the sounds of life. And you can see that some of the party has already spilled out onto the streets outside of the Gold Digger. There are people who are just kind of coming and going. Some will be coming later. Some are going right now. And amongst everyone, you can see what looks to be this older gentleman. Um, Clearly comes from old money. Well dressed, three-piece suit. There is a chain that goes from one vest pocket to the other. So you can only imagine that he has some kind of fob watch. Uh, the cleanest of shoes, and just this very simple black beard that has the spatter of white, uh, and short black hair that has just these shocks of lightning bolts of white or gray hair that streak back that originate at his temples. And you see that one of the bartenders kind of points over in your direction. Um, he nods, waves him away, and starts to kind of walk out the door and down the steps towards you to intercept. You guys want to shift to avoid, or do you want to? Because you're the only one that can see him, Pepe.
So, Pepe, you
Yeah.
want to avoid?
Yes.
Cool.
I like.
I guess we both avoid.
Yeah. So I kind of lead. Not so fast, but I kind of lead artists in the opposite direction to avoid
Okay.
this gentleman.
The artist can hear the music getting louder as they're stepping towards the gold digger, and then there's a very soft shift in direction, and you can hear the music starting to disappear behind you. You're moving away from the music, from the laughter, from the life city.
Getting quiet again. Did we pass the center of town?
I look to see where we're at.
You are now shifted away. You are no longer on Main Street. You are now on the avenue. You're heading
Yeah,
towards
there
the
was a
mines.
lot of there was a lot of noise coming from that bar, the Gold Digger. It's not my scene. Didn't like them. I went there earlier.
That's the bar that we were told about inside of the saloon that we were just in. Oh dear, I forgot the name. Could you tell me? Could you remind me, please?
The Gilded Apple.
The Gilded Apple. Yes.
Yeah,
And
the
that one's
manzana. The manzana.
yes. Is it called the Gilded Apple or is it called the Manzana?
No, it's called the Gilded Apple, but
Okay.
manzana is apple in Spanish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Manzana.
you got your first lesson in Spanish there, chavala.
In Spanish, chalala.
No worries. Chavala is the girl.
Ah,
Muchacha,
oh, I
yeah,
see. I see. I see. Okay.
señorita.
I'm getting the hang of it. I'll understand you very quickly. I'll pay
Not a
attention, I
problem.
promise.
Yes, I wasn't sure if you would be too comfortable with all that noise and racket coming from that place.
It was pretty lively, but I was wondering what kind of crowd was there. It sounded a little rough.
Yeah, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Was there the same and she like blushes. Is it the same kind of place as the Gilded Apple?
Oh no, nothing like that. This place
Oh,
is
okay.
this place is dirty.
Oh. Oh,
It's
okay.
dirty. It smells bad. Really, yeah. It's nothing for someone like you.
She puts like a gentle hand on Pepe, like as she's being led by him, and says, like, they don't have baths there?
I don't think so. They didn't offer me a bath when I went there. Instead, they wanted to cause trouble and show me some shitty card trick. But whatever.
Could you point out, well, doesn't matter if you point it out to me. Could you tell me if we get near a church, please?
Church,
Mm-hmm. I would
sure.
really like, yeah.
Uh, um, religious.
Mm-hmm. I am. I know sometimes our state confuses people why I'm so religious, but I would like to see the inside of a church. Well, not see, but at least be in a familiar kind of place.
No, I can't speak for the rest of the group, the pack. I don't know who the other two that we and all that, but I understand what you're talking about. I myself find a homely. Let's just say I sometimes feel at home in la iglesias.
We have
Uh,
that in common.
I will see. I will keep my eye out for the cross and see if we find a church for you.
Thank you.
You know that the church sits at the north end of town, so you would either have to go back towards Main Street, you could take the hardpack road, or you would have to take her through the alleys and into the kind of uneven ground to
Yeah.
cut through the rest of the town.
Pepe would normally just cut through the alley, but being that he's escorting artists, it's like we're gonna have to head back through the racket and all that because it's on the other side of town. I hope you don't
Is,
mind, senorita.
is there any other way to get there?
I wouldn't recommend it. It's through the alleys
Oh, we
and
can go that way. I'm sure it's much quieter.
it's probably quiet, but you don't know what type of ruffians we're gonna see out in those alleys.
I can handle myself, and I'm with you, so I'll be okay. Let's take the short way. We don't have to go the long way, just because you don't want me to meet some ruffians.
You hear a voice cut in. I would do as the gentleman has offered. The outside parts of the town could be a little wild, Miss. Coyotes are abound.
Who's talking?
The
I
gentleman that
go,
was heading towards you has followed you down the street.
Oh, okay.
So Pepe sees him up close, smells of money, cologne.
do I recognize him or have I seen him?
You have not. You do not know who this is.
Coyotes?
I saw him before, correct? That's why I stepped to the side so I
Yeah.
would know he was following.
Yeah, the bartender that tried to do the magic trick on you is the one that pointed you out to him.
Are you lost, amigo?
No, sir, please. I'm here to apologize for one of my employees. I'm one of the owners of the Gold Digger. I understand that you were treated unkindly. I wish to correct that.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yes, and I since artist has her arm around my arm, I kind of tense up so she'll be able to feel like I'm
Uncomfortable.
yeah, I'm comfortable and I'm almost like a
Okay.
defense mode. Uh, I wouldn't. That's an understatement of how your staff treated me, but most of all, how he treated rest of the staff. I don't know if your place is the type of establishment um to be treating its staff like that, especially when they're young and can't even defend themselves.
Oh,
How do you explain that?
that I had not heard
Sir?
of.
Never mind how he treated me, but yes, there was a young boy there who was serving the tables and he was getting harassed and picked on from one of your tables. And your bartender didn't seem to mind at all.
I will correct this as swiftly as possible. Allow
How
me,
swift are we talking? Because you're still here.
if you'd like to follow me back, sir. And he says, how rude of me. I am Malcolm Ian Gentry, sir, and I'm at your service. And you see him extend his hand out to you. It is gloved.
Sorry, my arm and hand is being occupied at the moment escorting.
She immediately withdraws her hand. Oh, no, please.
God, artist, why?
Welcome to Playing with Ray.
She gives like a little curtsy. She doesn't introduce herself yet because she hasn't been spoken to. So
I grab my hand and I scratch my ass
Yep.
with it, and then I shake his hand. Make sure that glove is nice and gets a little dirt on it from my pants.
Sure. And you see that he turns to Artis, bows, ma'am, and you hear him kind of clapping softly as he's wiping the dirt away from his hands.
and since she's confused why he's clapping as she's curtsying, she gives him like a little clap as well, and then she comes back up.
Yeah. You feel him take one of your hands in his, and then you feel his lips kiss the second and third knuckle.
Oh. Thank you.
Of
And
course.
she like points her head towards Pepe. Should we go to the what was your establishment called?
It's called the Gold Digger.
Oh, okay.
Apropos to the mining, I found it funny. But I'm also only one of the owners.
It's very funny. She doesn't understand why it's funny, but she wants to make
Yeah.
sure that he feels secure.
What was his name again, True? I'm sorry.
Malcolm is?
Malcolm Ian Gentry.
Oh, Malcolm Ian
Yeah.
Gertrude.
Gentry.
Gertrude.
Gertrude.
So you're one of the. How many owners are there?
There are 3.
Still holding my hand?
No.
Good, because I would have just put it back.
I put my arm out again and reach out to grab Artis's arm.
And she takes him.
Yeah. And he leads you back to the Gold Digger. And you do see the bartender behind the bar that was rude to you. And Gentry goes over, motions, and you see a darker skinned gentleman come down from the second story, come over behind the bar. And as Gentry motions for the bartender to kind of step aside, he introduces the 2 of you. He's like, "Madam, sir, this is one of the other owners. This is Lucius Olson. I trust that that because of the comments that you have made so far, that I can assume that you will have no issue with him being of his persuasion."
She curtsies.
Hmm.
Not sure what the persuasion is because she cannot see him.
Yep.
So
But you see that he leaves you with Lucius, and he goes over, and right as the door is about to close into what is a side office, you just see Gentry rear back and backhand the bartender that was rude to you. But
do I
Lucius,
hear it?
make a perception alertness roll. It will be difficulty 8 because there's music going on, there's laughter.
How many die is it again? I forgot.
It would be whatever your perception plus your alertness would be added together.
Okay.
So for you,
Perception is 3.
Yep. Alertness is
And
1.
my other one is?
Alertness, so that's 4 dice.
Alertness. 4.
Yep.
Okay.
Anything that comes up 8 or higher is a success. If you get any 1s, they subtract successes.
Oh, great. Okay.
Come on, you can do this.
7, 1, 3, and 3.
Okay, so
Lovely.
you didn't get any successes.
Yep.
And because you got more 1s than any success whatsoever, you actually botched the roll, which is a dramatically appropriate failure, not just a regular failure.
How can I fail at hearing? What's a dramatic failing at hearing?
I mean, since
we're gonna die.
Since you tilted your head, kind of trying to follow where Gentry was going, you weren't ready for the loud gunshot that just went off by your ear. As you see a rambunctious, excited miner kind of let loose a gunshot as he slaps the rear end of some working girl that's part of the crew here at the Gold Digger. And so for the rest of the night, you will suffer a -2 penalty to all your hearing rolls.
Damn. Fuck.
Now,
all right. Well, when
blind
the
and
shot
deaf.
happens, when the shot happens near her ear, it's like obviously like that one side is completely surrounded with her hand. She's
just ringing.
Cringing.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
Do I see him slap the girl?
The guy?
Well, you hear the fucking gunshot.
But I could have just heard the gunshot afterward and looked in that direction, but like, did
If you're looking to see if Gentry slapped the bartender, that you saw. If you're asking if you saw this guy slap the girl on the ass, that will be a perception alertness roll for you.
Probably. Okay, why not?
Yeah, it's difficulty
Why not?
6.
Now I'm deaf.
Perception and alertness.
Yeah.
That's
Difficulty 6.
3. That's
Oh.
4.
Yeah, you two have one thing in common.
Perce-
Garbage
dice.
alertness.
Garbage alertness. Yeah. And I happen to roll 1-6 out of 4-4-2.
Okay.
1 success. Yay.
Yeah, that's all you need. Sometimes that's all you need. And you do see
That's all right.
the girl kind of suddenly get up onto the ball of her feet, and she kind of plays it off. She laughs, but starts to kind of walk away from him. He starts to laugh gregariously, and you see him putting the gun away. He takes a shot of the whiskey bottle that he has in his hand, and he just kind of starts to walk back towards the rest of his miners.
I go up to him.
Yep.
He was the one that also fired a gun, right?
Yep.
Right, and earshot next to Artis as well, right?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't
Excuse me. I tap him on the shoulder, but like I tap him in a way where it's almost not pulling him back, but slightly.
Holding
Just
him in
so
place?
slightly. Yeah.
Ike, just so you know, just so this, I just want to stir the pot a little bit. Artis is crying from the pain.
Oh.
Excellent.
Great.
But like silently, like she's trying to keep it together.
Okay. So the guy turns around, looks at you, pulls his shoulder away from you. The help is supposed to go around back there, Pepe.
Help? Because you're gonna need help when we go back there, and I beat you down to the floor after what you just did.
He goes, you lost. You clearly don't know where the Mexican side of this place is. It's out back with the rest of the trash.
And where exactly? Why don't you personally show me? Because the way you treated a young lady was not very gentleman of you. Plus, you fired a gun. As you can see, my friend here.
You talking about that whore?
I just punched him.
Okay. Make a dexterity and brawl roll for me.
Gosh, Pepe, this is why I did not want to come to this bar. Oh, wait, dexterity and brawl?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Should pull out my gun instead. I did not like this bar. I've already hit 2 altercations.
2 altercations.
In one night. One night.
Oh, this is a different night.
Oh, yeah.
But you've been here, every night that you've been here, you've had some issue.
Well, I have...
Give Mexicans a bad name, bro.
I got 3 successes. 2 of them are 10, 1 is an 8, and 1's a 3.
Okay. So, 3 successes. I only got 1 with a difficulty 8 on a wits and dodge roll. You hit him. You've got 2 over him, so you're gonna roll your strength and 2 extra dice.
My strength is garbage, and 2 extra dice.
Yeah.
That's somewhat good. Strength is garbage though, for real.
Fine, bro.
7, 1, and 9.
Okay. You hear the crack of your fist coming into contact with his chin, and then you just see that his head kind of turns to one side, and as he turns back to look at you, one of his teeth falls out, and he just falls back onto his back.
Someone needs to take out the garbage. He told me it's in the back.
You see the black gentleman who was introduced to you as one of the owners come around the bar, and he has a small shot glass that he puts in your hand. He has one that he puts in Artis's hand. He's like, we could take this out to a different part of the bar if you want to talk. I apologize for the behavior of some of these ruffians, and he's really loud. You just hear them kind of laugh and point. One of the other miners comes over, takes the bottle, and brings it back to the table.
Are you sure you don't have a side just for us Mexicans? He clearly put. I point at the guy and I spit on him too, laying on the floor like that.
Yeah. He goes, if we do have a side for just Mexicans, it would be wherever I would be sitting, sir.
Is it pretty much everywhere since you're the owner?
One of.
Hallelujah. And I toss my drink up in the air and toss it like against the guy on the floor.
Yeah.
Como mierda, marica.
But Artis does have a shot glass that's been put into her hand. You gonna drink it?
Yeah. She'll drink it out of politeness, even though her ear is like probably bleeding a little bit.
How many times do you think Artis has ever had tequila?
Tequila, never.
Okay.
Tequila, never. But she has had a lot of whiskey in her day. But tequila's a whole different ballgame. So
this is a new burn for her.
It's a new burn, and there is gonna be one of those like very twisted, sour faces.
Mm-hmm.
She may not finish the whole thing. I don't know how sneaky Artis can be about finishing a whole shot, but it may be like a dribble down the chin a little bit to get some of it out kind of situation.
Yeah, it's a rough drink if you're not used to it.
Good. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, Lucius will take you aside and sit you down in a private room. And as the three of you kind of start to chat, we'll hop over to Kora and Walks with Spirits. What is the big plan? The two of you are clearly the alphas that are best suited for whatever task you're going to do, whether it's going to be fighting the spirits off to defend the mortals here in the city, or talking them down from whatever warpath they have crawled onto. Do you two think that you have come to some agreement as to how to handle the situation?
I would assume probably.
Try talk, then fight.
Yeah. See what they want. See if it's reasonable. If it's not reasonable, tell them no. And deal with the situation.
Is this agreeable with Walks of Spirits?
Yes. We can see what the spirits want. Perhaps it is a reasonable thing. Perhaps, well, most likely, these humans have gone too far and need to be reined back a little. But we can find out who started what. Earth spirits are temperamental. Are they?
Some are. Depends on the circumstance of why they're awakened. And given the story of Yonag the Restless, this is definitely not one of those situations where they were nicely pulled out of their slumber. This is very violent and to be met with violence.
And we know that they've taken out a lot of the previous Caern, so
yeah, I mean the elders gave up their life to kind of put Yonag the Restless back into the Umbra and back into the state of slumber that he was in. His offspring, however, are a completely different matter altogether. No one even knows what they look like.
So once we find our last, we can head out.
Indeed.
We go look.
Are you guys talking at the bar, or are you guys talking in like a separate room?
If there's people in the bar, probably not at the bar.
Yep.
Yeah, if there's people at the bar, they've probably taken it to a private area.
Okay. Layla knocks on the door, and she opens it. As she knocks, sorry to bother you, Kora, but Anastasia's here. She's asking if we have any extra bandages.
Bandages? Why?
Yeah,
What?
I mean, I didn't ask. I told her I'd ask you to see if we have anything extra here, but she says it's the doctor's not at his place, so she's come looking around here.
Yeah, I'll turn to my associate here, Walks of Spirits. I'll be right back.
I am well versed in medicine. If I can be of help.
Oh. Apparently my friend here is a doctor. Here. We do have some bandages. I want to see what happened, obviously. I want to know the details.
Yeah, and you go back out into the main bar. You can see that it is starting to wind down, so maybe there's only like 3 people that are sitting around at tables. One of them is still talking to a girl, so you probably are going to see some action from them at some point. The other 2, are going to probably just wander off after they're done.
Yeah.
Anastasia, the Anastasia that Layla's talking about is Anastasia Byers. She's one of the girls at the Gold Digger. And she sees you and she comes over. Oh, I hate to bother you, Kora, but
What's wrong? Are you
Oh,
Are you hurt?
no, I'm fine. It's just that one of our girls had a bad spill, and we just need to clean her up a bit.
And there's just this look on her face. What do you mean by a bad spill?
Oh, you know what bad spill means. Anytime that Anastasia or one of the other girls, it is the unwritten language of the working girl that a bad spill is somebody has taken their hands to a girl.
I thought so.
It is always referred to as a bad spill or falling down the stairs or, some other way of hiding the action. But he just kind of gives you that nod and he's like, yeah, she had a bad spill and I just want to clean her up, make sure she's okay.
Well, my friend here is a doctor of some measure. Where is she?
She's back at the digger. Should I bring her?
It would probably be best. I would hate to cause a ruffle of feathers by going near that establishment.
I can try to sneak you in through the back.
Is she well enough to be moved?
She looks at you, and you can see that she does try to hide her disgust at dealing with you, but it isn't very.
I don't.
Yeah, it isn't very good. And then she kind of gives Kora a raised eyebrow. Yes, it's just mostly cosmetic. What has happened to her?
Walks with spirits, stay here. I will grab the bandages, and I will go with.
Okay.
There's definitely this turn, going and grabbing things. Layla, hold down the fort.
Sure enough.
I'm about to clean up a mess. And
And
she, you see her, she's kind of pulled her sleeves up, her forearms a bit.
yeah.
And yeah, she grabs medical supplies, It's not the first time I've dealt with this,
And
Anastasia.
as
Yes,
you're
around the back.
taking your bandages and you're walking out, you just see Layla kind of lean over the bar towards Watch the Spirits. So, is that your real name, or do you have like a name like Jimmy or Johnny or Timothy or something without hyphens?
It's what I'm called, so it's as real as any other name.
That's wild.
Suppose you would see it.
And is that real for her? You see that, and she just starts to ask like all the questions that white people ask. But
What other kind of fur is there?
Anastasia takes Kora around the back, and you see as you're being snuck in that Pepe and Artist doesn't see this because she's blind. But Pepe sees a young girl come in and close the door. Like she sees that you're in the room with Lucius, and she kind of nods at him and she closes the door. And behind her, you can almost make out what looks like Kora. But Anastasia takes you upstairs, and you see that there's a couple of girls sitting around this other girl, and it does look like someone just took a meaty fist to the left side of her face.
We've got bandages. Here.
Thank you.
And Cora obviously sits down and starts trying to do her best. She's not a full-on medical woman,
Yeah.
but
This is gonna be good. Let's see an intelligence and medicine roll.
all right.
I got 3
What's the
dice.
difficulty?
I'll say 6. Not terribly bad.
I've got 1 success.
Yeah. It is not difficult, and you're lucky that it's only the one side of her face. But you managed to bandage her up. There's no real bleeding. There's a couple of ruptured blood cells underneath the skin. Her eye does have a kind of shock of red to one side. But it's nothing that a few days of rest won't take care of.
Try and keep it cold if you can. I know that's difficult here. It'll help with the bruising and the pain.
He nods.
Who did it?
It's one of the regulars. It's just he was too excited about his promotion. That's all.
No. That isn't. If it's one of the regulars, they know better than treat you like this. If it's someone who sees you regularly, they should treat you with a modicum of respect and decorum.
I don't know what those words mean.
We're gonna fix that. Who?
Kind of gets up and starts to make her way over to her little desk, where her makeup is, and she just sits there. She's like, "It's okay. He's not gonna do it again."
You do not know how many times I've heard that. He's not going to do it again. He was just being a little too rough. He was just too excited. No.
He was just a little too excited. He had too much to drink, is all.
She's starting to count off like all the excuses that she's heard over time. No, they don't stop unless someone gets them to stop. So tell me who it is, and I will
Victor's not like that, though.
Victor.
And you see she covers her mouth. Is that anything?
Victor's not like that. My man's not like that. My man only did it just this once. You know how many women I've heard that from? Do you know how many of those women are still alive? Not very many. What I'd like for you to do is come by my place tomorrow during the day. I'm not going to take you from the gold digger or anything like that. But I am going to try and assist you.
How?
There are things a working girl can do that'll prove to men like Victor that you're not going to get hit again. I'll see to that.
I'll see if I can trade off some of my chores then.
Just during the day.
And Anastasia comes over.
Storyteller.
Yeah.
Specifically, do I know this Victor? Is there only one Victor in town?
There's a couple of Victors. You were talking with Walks of Spirit, so I don't think you would have been able to overhear some of the gossip that's going on. You could give me a perception and alertness roll as you were walking in. See if you would have noticed any of the miners that are celebrating. Oh wow, you guys terrible at perception and alertness.
What's the difficulty?
We'll say 7.
2 successes.
Oh, okay. In the corner, as you walked in, and before you were taken up the stairs, you saw that there was a group of miners that were all celebrating. One of them looks to have gotten his mouth punched in, but was heavy-handedly drinking from a full bottle.
Mm-hmm.
You know that's easily about $3 or $4.
Mm-hmm.
So miners don't normally make that. Only mining captains and anyone above that tend to see that kind of money per paycheck.
Mm. So, would be fair to assume that's the man.
Be a good assumption.
I am. And now we can continue. I was just making sure.
Yeah. Anastasia comes over. She shakes your hand. Thank you for this, Kora. Like I said, I went by Doc's and he wasn't there, so your place is closer than the Silver Star, so
It's no problem, man. We gotta watch out for each other.
she nods. She smiles. I'll try to sneak you back out. And
Thanks.
as you make your way back down the stairs, just as you're within eyesight of the back door, the door across from the room that she closed on the way in opens, and you see what looks to be this beautiful 3-piece suit that you recognize. Immediately recognize the man, the head coming up out of the vest and the dress shirt, as Malcolm Ian Gentry, one of the primary owners of the bar itself. And you see him wiping his mouth, almost like he has just done something to exert himself beyond a normal state. And you can hear what sounds like moaning coming from inside the room, and he quickly closes the door as he sees the two of you. And without a word, he just motions, and Anastasia nods and walks away. He looks at you. Well, Miss Kora.
Mr. Gentry.
As I live and breathe, you have left the confines of your establishment. What do I owe this honor?
It seemed that Doc was out, so one of your girls came over to need some assistance, some bandages.
Oh, I see. How much would you like for your services rendered then? And you see him pull out a billfold.
Oh no, no, it's fine.
Oh, please, please. We've bothered you, and I can only assume you have taken some of your own supply of bandages. Least I can do is pay for them. You see him pull out a couple dollar bills. Just enough.
That should be fine. It's gracious of you. You know I'm always around to help.
Of course. You've been nothing but a pillar of the community. And you see that
As a
he counts out like $6 worth and hands them to you.
Thank you.
Of course.
You seem to be having some fun. It seems to be quite busy here.
Oh, I trust Lucius with the day to day, and sometimes employees have to be reprimanded. So, it is one of my simple pleasures being the bad cop. Well,
I see. Spare the rod, spoil the child.
You've heard the phrase.
Yes, I have. Well, I shan't keep you long. I was just, as you heard, I was just here to assist.
Of course. And you see that he opens the door to the office. Artist hears the door open. Pepe sees the door open, and you see Gentry there. And he looks like he's talking to somebody, and he just turns to Kora, and he's just like, "Shall I fetch someone to escort you back? The night can be difficult."
I should be fine. And I'm just saying that loud enough to be heard. And
Yeah.
I'm assuming I see Pepe. I may not see Artis,
Yeah.
depending on where she's sitting.
Yeah. Pepe's sitting across from Lucius. And you can see there is a somebody else in the room. You can see the shadow of it, but you don't know who it is.
Try to make eye contact. I try to make slight eye contact with Kora until my head had like hopefully she picks up like I heard what she said.
Hmm. But yes, I should be fine. It's not too difficult of a walk, and I can take care of myself.
Really?
Oh, I know I have ear damage. Can I hear her or what?
Yeah.
Can I hear her talking?
Yeah, you can.
Perfect. Okay. So since there's a little bit of tequila inside of Artis, and she's already kind of done with the night, more so a whine than a calling, she just calls out to Kora.
Okay.
And just asks, like, "Kora, is that you?"
Artis?
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely this look to Pepe of, why did you bring her here? There's she's trying to keep it a modicum of decorum, but there's definitely a bit of a look.
Also, there's like a face of guilt because Artis knows how you feel about the gold digger, and obviously we are also here and have been caught in a lie, or not a lie, but caught here. So she's like, "I'm sorry. There's a gentleman who brought us here. I didn't come here on my own. I swear."
You can go wherever you like, Artis. And Cora does cross the way. And there's definitely a look at Lucius. There's Lucius.
He immediately stands up. Miss Leventis, if I had known you were here, I would have made a proper arrangements.
It's no problem. Artis, are you all right? She's new in town.
She's still holding onto her ear, and she's flushed because of the tequila and kind of
Do,
a mess.
do you want to go back?
She just nods. And she's trying
Okay.
not to cry.
Okay.
She still feels guilty about going to the gold tinker.
Yep.
She's new in town, and I've been trying to be amicable to all the newcomers. Here.
Yes, Kora has been very amicable with those newcomers.
And you see Gentry kind of step to the side. I apologize that I took so long in my reprimanding. I trust that you will allow me to make it up to you, sir. I still owe you for the damages that have been done to you.
Nah, and I just look at my face. No, I think I'm okay for now. It's getting late, anyways. I should probably escort these fine women back to the
Course.
other apple.
Of course. Please, know that you will always have safe harbor here if I'm around. And Lucius, I hope that this extends to your presence. And of course, Lucius nods earnestly.
All right. Well, it seems like everything was handled. You two have a good night, gentlemen, and I will see these wayward turtle doves home.
And they both nod accordingly. And they let you walk out either through the back or through the front, whichever way you want to go.
Through the front.
Front. Through the front.
Excellent.
Yes.
Already been caught. Yep.
Mexican.
Yeah. That's right. And you will head back to the Gilded Apple. You do see that some of the people they recognize Kora for who she is and what she does, and some of them are puzzled. Some of them kind of look sheepishly away, like they've been caught with their hand in the cookie jar, and one of them just kind of like nods as his lower lip kind of sticking out, like, okay, all right, and just kind of raises his shot glass at you. But you guys can bed down for the night.
Is that dude still on the floor?
No.
Knocked out? Oh.
He is drinking from his bottle. He is surrounded by his other miners, and he just glares at you the whole way.
I smile.
Is it
Nice.
the same one
Yeah.
that I was looking at?
Yep.
I smile and I show him my nice full row of teeth.
No facetiousness there whatsoever.
It may be dirty, but there's still it's a full set of teeth.
Full set. Full set.
Full set.
The next day, all of you awaken wherever you are, whether you're at the Rutherford, whether you're at the Gilded Apple, or whether you're out in nature like some wild animal. I'm not going to point any fingers.
No, but you did.
Next time you can just add him.
Yeah, you can just say it.
Listen,
Say it.
if you know, you know. If you know, you know.
So I was talking to Layla for forever waiting for these people to come back.
Yeah.
Because I got
Or-
told to stay put, and I stayed put.
Oh yeah, and
Good boy.
Layla asked you all the stupid questions. You know, like, you have a tribal animal that you adhere to. Do you know who God is? Do you believe in God? And she is like a drain of anything that you give her. She's just gonna take and then ask again a different. Like she's just gonna take and go into a different avenue. Like she's like a child to you. She just has these endless amount of questions, and by maybe like the 30th or 32nd question that she's asked you about like differences in growing up and what it's like to have an actual animal instead of a stuffed animal, you see Kora come back with Pepe and Artis.
So. And I try to exit from them.
Yeah. Layla doesn't bother you once she sees that Kora's there. But yeah, if you want to discuss the events that you have seen or partaken in, especially those of you that have taken tequila for the first time, you can.
I can definitely see Cora's got artists, kind of against in her arms a little bit because
Been apologizing the whole time.
it's okay. I didn't tell you couldn't go there. I didn't say anything. Are you okay? Just seeing the tears, there's definitely this mothery kind of thing going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's debating whether or not to say that she basically got shot next to her ear. She doesn't want to worry anybody. Also, the fact that I didn't know that Pepe is supposed to be in charge of me when we were out, but didn't do a great job because I got shot near my fucking face.
Yeah. That's what happens when you trust the
You wanted
Ragabash.
to go there. I wanted to go to the church.
I also wanted to go to church, and then some fucking rando came out of the corner.
Rando.
There's just this concern. Are you okay? Do you need some more milk and honey?
Artist nods at the milk and honey immediately.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Could I have some
and
more?
She has not let go of her ear the entire time.
This is something that Cora's gonna notice, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Is she's acting like her ear's been boxed?
Yep. Yeah. And there's a little tendril of red coming out of it.
Oh.
Artist, mija. Perdón, I'm so sorry.
What happened?
Missing now.
There's definitely Artist has been sat down in the comfiest chair.
Okay.
Available, probably near a fire.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you.
You know, a blanket has been brought over to her, and Cora is going to make warm milk with some honey in it. And there's definitely this look at Pepe. It's like, can I speak to you?
Dun dun
Can we talk?
dun.
See, I head over.
And she's just heating milk up. She's getting. What happened?
We were walking around the town. We were gonna go to the iglesias, and this gentleman, Mr. Senor.
Can I hear
Gentry?
them? 'Cause
The
I'll
old
tell him. Yeah.
Gentry stops us. Apparently, he was following us. He wanted to apologize because I was there earlier that night. He wanted to apologize. He wanted us to go back, and he said yes because I wanted the apology. Artist did not want to go. And it's my fault. I kind of dragged her into this. Y ya tú sabes. We were there, and there was one of the miners decided to slap one of the girls there, as Mr. Gentry was slapping his bartender for mistreating me earlier. And then the miner let out a gunshot, which explains Artis's ear in the condition it is in. And yeah, that's about it.
Who did this to Artist?
One of the miners there, very distinguishable. He's missing a tooth.
walks with spirits, and there's just this kind of shout.
Yes.
Can you
But I
check on Artis? Apparently, someone shot a gun right near her ear, and it appears to have been bleeding at some point. If
Use
you wouldn't
medicine.
mind.
I think he does
Well,
mind.
am so sorry, Kora. You
Let
won't
me
happen
take a look,
again.
young one.
Yeah.
Hey.
Make an intelligence and medicine check. Difficulty 6.
That's you
Jesus.
add the strikes up in both together, right?
Yep. So you have 7 dice.
Jesus.
Jesus.
It's a thing he can do.
Yeah. You guys definitely got a
what's-
healer.
If you don't get a success, you gotta get new dice.
What's the difficulty?
Sorry, 6. 6.
6. So 2 successes, a 0, and a 1. Those cancel out.
Yep.
Okay. So 2 successes.
Okay. It doesn't look like it's permanently damaged. She's already started to heal the actual like subdermal damage. And it is a testament to her medis background that she can actually heal in Hamid form.
Okay.
I wasn't sure that she'd be able to
See,
heal, seeing as she's what she is.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems that she's carrying on. It's fine.
Yeah. There's no form that she has that she cannot heal in. But yeah, it's now that she's here and that she's drinking the milk and honey, like it is healing on its own. And within the hour, you think she'll be right as rain.
I'm sorry,
It's-
Kora.
It's all right, Pepe. I didn't know exactly where you were going. I did trust her in your care.
It's my fault. I like to have a good time.
Everyone likes to have a good time.
I
But-
apologize to you two artists. Done.
Artis shakes her head, and she thanks Walks with Spirits for taking care of her, even though she knows he secretly hates her. And
Yeah, you white.
and she says, "No, Pepe, it's okay. It's not your fault at all. Kora, please don't be mad at him. It's my fault."
Yes. Silencio.
Cora does give you a hug, Pepe. I still appreciate you for what you did. And the hug starts out gentle, and then it goes into like a ratcheting closeness. But if you ever let anyone hurt her again in your care, I will fuck you, and not the good way. And she just lets him go, and then continues on.
Yes, whatever you say, Kora.
Excuse me.
Established dominance.
Yeah, established dominance. Taught you well.
And I'm like nervous and just kind of awkward, just shake it off. I'm like,
Layla, there's a miner in town that's missing a tooth. I think his name is Victor, perchance. Because it looked like they were being abusive to individuals of our specialization. I do not want him in this establishment.
She nods at you.
If
Understood.
he tries to enter this establishment, come get me, and I will take care of it. I will throw him out like the trash he is.
All right. I like the sound of that. And you see she cracks her knuckles.
Malacas.
And As you have all shared the events of the evening with each other and you kind of caught everybody up to speed, we transfer to the next day. Everybody's waking up wherever they're waking up. Jonathan wakes up to the sight of his aunt already dressed and with breakfast already served at a side table in the room. And she just has a small envelope in her hand. Jonathan, dear, we are in great luck, as it seems that the doctor here in town is a member of my tribe. They call him Breaks the Bones.
Is this the same doctor I met the first day I was here?
Mm-hmm.
I've met him. He seems all right to me.
Good. Excellent. He is the Cairn's warder, and he has given me this, and she kind of tosses the envelope towards your bed, and it lands near your thigh, kind of knee area. Apparently, there is a pack that has been formed that you will be joining.
Oh, okay. It sounds good to me. I open up the letter.
It just says Kora Leventis, and then it says the Gilded Apple.
Okay. Right. I guess this is what I'm doing today. And I put it away and I put it into my jacket pocket.
She stands up and she crosses over to the bed and she sits down at the foot of the bed. Jonathan, I don't want to alarm you, but the doctor has told me that the Cairn is run by Red Talons.
Okay.
They might not take kindly to you and what you represent.
And what's that? Would I know?
Modernity, he says.
Ah,
Also, from what the doctor has not so eloquently stated, is that your group has been tasked with a kind of rite of passage that you only have a few days to complete. And unfortunately, there is a big talk that all of you that have been gathered here might be gathered for something big, Jonathan. There's talk that this is a silver pack.
would I know what that is?
Not at all.
Just I give her the most surprised look I could. I question with my look.
She nods. I think you'll figure it out.
Thanks.
And she reaches out her hand and she grabs yours and she says, "This is a good thing for you as far as this side of our heritage is concerned. But it is also going to be a terrible thing for why we're here. You will have to start to juggle more than you have before."
Right. Okay.
But I brought you breakfast. So eat up, get dressed. I'll make myself comfortable here in town.
Would you like to wait a moment? I will eat. I can walk you to Mr. Gentry's. You said you need to see him today?
No, our meeting is not until next week. He's a busy man.
Understood. Okay.
I'll be meeting with one of the other owners, Lucius, something or other, a black gentleman, Lucius Olson.
Lucius?
Mhm.
Okay.
So eat up. We'll talk later. And She puts her hand on your face, almost very motherly, and then she gets up and walks out.
Well, I try to collect my thoughts, considering what I've just heard,
Yeah.
knowing that my plans here have just been slightly derailed. But I knew this would be a challenge, so I steady myself for the rest of the day. I eat my breakfast, and I see myself out towards the Golden Apple,
Gilded.
putting on my bowler hat on the way out.
Oh, gonna be one of those days.
One of those days.
But sure enough, as the Gilded Apple crew is sitting down to breakfast, Layla and Garrett are both sitting opposite each other, and you will just see Layla at one point just throw a cherry tomato at Garrett. Well, everybody except Artis. And as you guys are eating, some of the girls are sitting around the other tables. You'll see a male shape walk up to the doors and kind of look inside. Are they closed? Because you're not open yet, right?
Not open yet.
Yeah. You can see him through like the frosted panes of glass.
I look at the note in my hand,
Mhm.
and I read it like 3 times. Make sure the sign says the Golden Apple,
Gilded Apple.
Gilded Apple,
Yeah.
and I raise my hand to knock. I bring it down, and I knock 3 times.
You expecting company, Kora?
No, we're not open yet. Someone must be eager.
Hmm.
I'll take care of it. And Cora gets up.
Yeah. All the girls are just kind of like mid bite. Their forks are wherever they were when the first knock hit, and everybody's just like frozen, like
Keep-
deer in headlights.
Keep eating. We're not open yet.
You can tell that a lot of them are like, we don't even have our faces on. Why are people here?
As soon as I hear the door open, my bowler hat is off, and I'm holding it in both hands.
And Cora's definitely done that kind of crack. You hear the locks go, and then yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
What does Jonathan look like so that everybody has an image of you?
Um,
Because they all
Jonathan Cartwright
What?
is of average height. He's traditionally handsome, British wise. Like he has like sharp, like features, broad chin. Not he's he's like I said, average height. He's not a tall guy. He's not somebody who's worked out or is in any way um, physically big or chiseled, but he's not an ugly guy. Brown eyes, brown hair, uh, keeps it neat, um, and he has a slightly crooked nose from a previous fracture.
What does he smell like?
that's important.
Yeah.
So I would have woken up today, and I would have taken, I would have taken a bath. He prefers lavender in his water, and probably slightly of lavender and whatever his aunt was wearing as a perfume today
Are
because of
you
the
wearing
close
any
proximity.
type of shoes that make a certain type of noise?
I am wearing not boots, but I guess what would be considered professional dress shoes at the time,
Okay.
which I think was still just boots,
No,
Not as like
there's
but they're harder tack. Like they do hit harder than normal leather bound boots.
Okay. Thank you.
Was not expecting this.
Yeah. What happens when you have a blind character?
Mhm.
Okay. So Kora opens the door. You see this gentleman standing out there, a bowler hat in his hands.
Brown. I am wearing a brown like tweed suit.
Yep. Definitely doesn't look like a clientele for the Gilded Apple.
I'm sorry, sir, but we're closed for at least another couple of hours.
My apologies, ma'am. I'm looking for and I look at the name again for like the 100th time to make sure I don't say it wrong.
Yep.
A Miss Kora. I'm here to meet her about businesses that involve more private matter that cannot be said on the streets.
Smooth.
What?
Smooth.
He kind of looks a little confused. Hmm. Unfortunately, I don't have any way to tell.
It's pertaining of the matters that cannot be said too much in the day of light. And
Want me to
better
shoot
than
him?
I immediately like hat is up to chest and I'm like, excuse me?
Not open yet.
You just hear
I know.
Layla in the background. I don't know, Kora. He's kind of handsome. Could make an exception.
I'm gonna pull one of my hands from behind the bowler and I'm just gonna hand her the note. Like I just hold it out to her. I didn't want to be rude, but I'm like, here.
Or takes it. Do I recognize the handwriting?
Not at first, but you do recognize that there is a bit of crimping on the corner, like someone has taken a nail into the corner to design a specific kind of indenture, and it looks like the Shadow Lord tribe's insignia.
I see. And she opens the door a little bit more. Come in. Sit.
Thank you. I walk in and I sit down at the closest chair I can find to the door,
Okay.
and I place my bowler hat on the on the desk or
Yeah.
the table, cross my legs, and I put my hands on my knees.
Yep.
You see
And
him sit down at an empty table.
Kora proceeds to lock the door again.
I take out one of my guns and put it on the table in front of me.
Do I recognize the model?
What is it, a Remington? Colt?
No, it's a Colt.
Yeah, it's a Colt.
I look over at it. I go, a Colt. It's nice. Reliable?
Can always find out. And I make sure that I move the gun on the table and I point it in his direction.
Okay.
Damn,
Well, I
people
don't-
learn
Like-
fast.
I don't think
Artist,
that'll
hold
be
your ear
necessary.
just a little bit.
Traumatized. Yeah. Art.
Yeah.
No,
Sir, I
no
don't think
one,
that'll be. Oh, sorry.
no one's shooting anyone at the moment. I appreciate it, but apparently this is another one of the wayward turtle doves that Doc has sent us.
Doc, it's Bone Breaker, right?
Breaks the bones.
Breaks the bones. And
Yeah.
I say, breaks the bones?
And she kind of side eyes him a
Yeah.
little bit of, we don't use those names in front of.
And one of the girls at the table near you, he just looks over. It's like, I mean, by accident, yeah, he breaks several bones, but mostly he just sets them.
Yeah, there's definitely this look, and it's like, do we
Yeah.
have enough? Have you had breakfast? Have you?
Talking to you, Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, me? Yes, I have eaten.
Well, then sit over there.
I get up and move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She points to the table where the rest of the crew is.
Yeah. And she kind of walks by, and there's just a little whisper. It's like, I think that's our Iron Rider. Before he gets close enough.
Oh.
So we are complete.
Mm-hmm.
This is who we've been waiting for?
Indeed.
That's
We were
exciting.
looking for you.
Yes. I apologize for the wait. I had personal matters to attend to. And I will extend my hand to him, to you. Jonathan Cartwright II. An honor to meet you.
As his hand comes up over the table, all of you see what looks to be this silver thread just kind of come off of his pinky, and then there's the materialization of just that Weaver Spirit spider that appears on the table. Everybody except artist can see the spider. There's a faint kind of bluish glow.
Painted by the Weaver.
Can I pick it up and put it back on my shirt?
Yeah.
Bueno.
Sure.
I'm going to gingerly pick it up and put it back on my shoulder and let it just go where it needs to go. Yep. And I hold up a hand and I re-gesture for the handshake.
Who's sitting next to me?
Probably Pepe.
Pepe?
Yeah, Pepe,
Okay,
Pepe to one side and Kora to the other.
Okay. So she leans over to Kora and she whispers, "Is he waiting for me to respond?"
I'm looking at Pepe.
That's
No.
fine. I don't know that.
Yeah.
No, I know. I'm not saying as character. I'm not saying
Yeah,
it as
you're
character.
letting me know, and I get that.
Yeah.
No, he's waiting to shake Pepe's hand. It's
Can you
okay.
tell me? Can you tell me when he puts his hand out? I'll do the same.
Of course.
Okay.
I'll give you a little tap.
Thank
Is that
you.
loud enough for me to hear?
Probably.
Okay,
Probably.
I will not be offering you my hand then. Because I think
you
I
better
get
offer
it.
it because I'm gonna offer my hand too.
No, yes. Okay.
Yeah. So after seeing what he saw, does Pepe at all want to reach out and touch this man?
And so it starts. Like in every game. And so it starts, like in all our games.
And Cora's eating her food.
Yep.
And it's definitely there's this thing going on in Cora's head of going, how am I gonna make this work?
I look at Aura. I look at Walks with Spirits. I look at Artists and back Jonathan. Well, he introduced himself already to Jonathan. And I look back at Kora. And I look back at Jonathan. I look at his hand. And I look at my gun.
I see all this going on, and I take Jonathan's hand. It's just this. It's this. It's kind of this weird angle. This.
Yeah.
And it's not. It starts gentle, but then you start getting that putter swing kind of thing as she shakes. Yes, I'm Kora. Nice to meet you,
Pleasure.
Jonathan.
My handshake, outside of anything my personality has shown, is formal, businesslike, firm, and quick. It is confident.
In and out.
And then I just boom. I'm like.
And you, Kora, as you see him pull his hand out to avoid any awkwardness, you see the shadow of somebody leaning back in their chair, and you just hear Layla's voice in your ear. Is that a fucking glowing spider on his shoulder?
Kora kind of looks. What? And she kind of cocks her head, trying to take a look. What?
Spider has moved onto the back of his neck, but it is starting to dissolve into the clothing.
I don't know what you're talking about, Layla.
Are you gas lamping her?
Yeah.
During the whole like introduction handshake awkwardness,
Yeah.
walks with spirit. It was clearly like a weaver tainted minor spirit.
Oh, the complete weaver spirit.
I'd try to whisper over to it, to ask it if it's okay, to tell us what it's wanting, why it's bringing to us, to see if it even responds or cares about.
Oh yeah, you see that it starts to fade into his clothing, and as his hand kind of wavers in your direction to introduce himself, it will do the same thing again. It would just kind of come off of his pinky and then climb onto your hand.
I actually look surprised that just happened. Like, I didn't know that would.
You thought you had a spider friend.
And is it willing to
I miss it.
anything?
Oh yeah, no, he starts climbing up your arm towards your ear. And you see that he is not as visibly glowing. He is painstakingly trying to keep himself hidden now that he realizes that he has been spotted once. But he does kind of crawl up onto your shoulder, and you can feel two of his legs starting to like just creepily tiptoe up your cheek towards your ear. And as they rub together, you hear its little voice. Hey, I am here to help.
How?
I love that only the group can hear your side of this conversation. So out of nowhere, it just sounds like you're like, how?
They'll take that how they will.
Yeah, I mean, you're the Native American. How indeed.
How?
Do I know this is how Native Americans say hi?
No, that's
Okay. I just wanted to make
that's
sure.
the stereotype.
Yeah, that's
It
the
is.
stereotype.
And I don't act on it.
Yeah. But you see the spider starts to rub its legs again near your ear. I am here to watch over the Iron Rider. He fed me his clothes. We are friends.
Very well. You know, I'd normally want to just banish this little thing,
Oh, please don't.
Yeah.
but
And it's
you know,
you feel
he's
it. You
very
feel the
important to our
two.
alpha.
Yeah, you
That's
feel the
the
two front legs just start to rub your cheek. Like, I hope we can be friends too.
I know who you serve.
Order preserve you. And he starts to walk back towards the Iron Rider.
I extend my hand so that the spider.
Yeah. And the second it jumps off of your hand back towards him, it just vanishes.
Oh, yeah, that was weird. Anyways, Jonathan, that's Pepe. That's Walks with Spirits. And this is Artis.
Artist juts her hand out because she wants to seem polite. I don't know if it's in the right direction, but
It
I'm
isn't.
really hoping.
Kora
Good.
Kora has guided it. There's definitely this. She shoots it out, and Kora's tried to.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It just shoots out in one direction, and you see Kora just slide it so it matches where you are.
I take Artis's hand, but I pause for a moment and wait to see if she offers it like a lady would or like a handshake, because I follow whatever she does.
It's a lady thing.
I lean in, I kiss her hand, and I let go.
Okay.
A pleasure.
Nice to meet you, Jonathan. Jonathan, I don't mean to sound rude, but your cologne is lovely and very feminine.
Ah, yes. I don't normally wear anything myself. I'm currently staying in close proximity to my aunt. She wears a lot of perfume.
She has wonderful taste.
I'll ask her the name.
Thank you.
And
So-
Cora's going to wait until everybody finishes eating before we adjourn to an office.
Yeah. And
And I will apologize. I thought since I was let in that I could speak freely. It won't happen again.
The majority of the people who work here are not kin.
Understood.
So now I'm having suspicions. And she kind of looks kind of at the door to Layla. A little bit.
yeah, no, Layla, and she's just like, you see that she's leaned in, like she has moved herself, so she's sitting next to Garrett, and she is just like, I know what I fucking saw. Fucking spider. And Garrett's just like shaking his head, eating his eggs, like there are no spiders here, Layla. Trust me, I'm the one that gets called in to take care of all that. He's like, well, you better fucking open your eyes from now on, Garrett. There's fucking spiders here. Like, I'll do another pass, sure. He just grunts as he starts to eat his eggs and starts to very quietly, like it's almost imperceptible, but you know the two of them, and you see that he is already sliding his chair away from her. But you guys finish and you step aside into one of the offices.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure many questions isn't kin?
I'm trying to figure that out now. We've known each other for quite a while.
I grabbed
See a
some of the
spirit.
toast and put it in my pockets.
Pocket toast, like pocket bacon, but more crumbly.
Or the tots, like, or
Yeah.
tots.
Yeah,
Napoleon,
Pocket
give me
tots.
tots.
the hash browns.
I put it in my pocket, the toast.
Yeah.
For later.
And now I'm going to be craving McDonald's hash browns. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so
That's a
me
brilliant
too.
idea. Let's go.
Let's go.
Perfect hangover food.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, you all meet up at the office, and you see now that there's no kind of mortal denizens, the spider is prominent again on the shoulder. It is glowing blue, and after a moment, you swear that it's almost imperceptible. It's very quick, but you see spiders, same kind of blue glowing spiders on the walls, and they just come out, they show themselves, and then they disappear almost as quickly. But you see the little one kind of waving each time, like its two front legs kind of come up and wave, like hello, and the spiders will wave in return. But you are very keenly made aware of the fact that you are in a Weaver built creation.
Um, what's in that breakfast?
Just normal food.
I didn't see.
Surrounded by the taint.
This wasn't here last night.
What wasn't here last night?
It's... Hmm. Oh, this is going to be fun.
We're surrounded by spiders.
Yeah.
They're
Spiders?
spirits of the Weaver.
What do I know about these spirits, and do I know why they're showing up now and not before, as he said?
It's probably because of your spider.
Ah,
Your little friend.
I believe they are feeling more confident since I am traveling with one.
I should have known.
As you see, most or many of all things man-made are somehow connected to the Weaver. How wrong is that? I don't know.
That's true.
He says it. I saw it on Facebook.
Things made by the impure.
Modernity does not have to be seen as a taint.
The modern time is whenever we live. It's not defined by how we live.
I take that in because it was damn awesome.
Artist follows the smell of toast to grab onto Pepe
Yep.
because he said that there was fucking spiders. So now she asks, "How many spiders are in here?"
Many.
Yep,
Okay.
too many to count. But no, nada va a pasar. Everything's okay.
It's fine.
Anytime there's like a slight like change of draft, it's like a high pitched squeal of like.
It's okay, artists. These are spiders that are not going to hurt you.
That red rock was spirits.
They are spirit. We hope that they're here to guide.
They are spirit spiders. See?
The
Heard it from
spider, yes, the spider that currently travels with me approached me to specifically tell me that, and I share this with you now, that my aunt was not feeling well and that I should go see her. So I believe it is here to help, or at least it has positive meaning to be here. I trust it.
and you can continue to trust it. Anyways, we need to get back to the focus task on hand.
Mhm.
Cora's definitely done the I'm gonna keep my cool in this situation because I somehow have to make this work.
Yep.
We have now. Hold on, let me go back to my notes. What was it 10 days? It's now 9 days that we have.
Give or take.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 9 days according to my notes. We have now 9 days to complete this task at the mines.
Indeed. We should probably head out tonight. Or we could head out that way now, but we would want to do exploratory workings at night when all the miners are gone.
Yeah, apparently they all go to
The
the
gold
gold
digger.
digger to drink, get drunk, and act stupid.
And
No hard
Do
feelings.
you know, Jonathan, of our quest?
Sorry, I
Of our
didn't
assignment?
fully hear you. I didn't fully
Do
hear
you
you.
know
Sorry.
of our task?
Um,
Of the
no,
mine?
I was told that there was something that needed to be done in the mines. And well, I don't want to reveal. And I know that it's time sensitive.
it is time sensitive. There are earth elementals waking up in the mines, and they have killed some of the miners.
Oh, But we definitely don't want that.
Indeed. Their father spirit has been put to rest, but it was at great cost for the Caern. And so we need to deal with these earth elementals in a proper way and bring back a trophy. From what I understood, the bigger the better.
Okay. Jonathan's inability to be outdoorsy or adventurous is really paying off right now. I'll follow whatever the lead is and be as helpful as I can.
Should we leave now, Kora?
We should, probably.
Will the miners be working?
They will be working right now, but maybe the mine, how far is it from town, storyteller?
The mine itself is maybe 30 minutes, 45-minute hike
Not bad.
from the center of town. So from the edge of town, you're looking at maybe at most half an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they would definitely still be working.
Yes, it's too early in the day right now. But we do need to go and see what's going on in the mine. I would say that we try and get any sort of business we need done during the day and set out.
Uh, That's fine with me, and I take a swig from my flask.
We've me and Walks with Spirits have come up with a proper plan, regardless of last night's incidences. Walk with Spirits is going to find out exactly what's going on with the spirits, because the elementals are spirits of the land, and see if we can come to some sort of reasonable arrangement. But if what they are asking for is not reasonable, then we will have no choice but to be Gaia's warriors and do what we must. But I'm hoping it doesn't come to that.
You think these spiders can tell us walks with spirits?
I'll
I-
walk over to one of the walls where they're gathered,
Mhm.
put out a hand, and ask, "Do you know the children of Yognoth? Yonog? Yonog?"
Yeah. Excuse me. And everyone except the artist sees the wall just contract, the wood splinters and cracks, and the spider takes on a material form by pulling on the actual timbers and lumber, and you see it create a body for itself that's about the size of a tarantula, and it just drops onto your hand,
Whose hand?
onto Walker Spirit's hand.
Oh, thank goodness.
And just holds up its front two legs in your direction. And you artists can hear the sound of like wood grinding against wood, and there's just this almost hollow chittering sound that echoes in the room. And there is in the corner just this kind of spider-like shape that has been carved out of the wall itself, and it just looks up at Walks of Spirits There is a gate that has been opened in the mountain.
A gate opened in the mountain?
The humans have ruptured Stormgate in the Umbra.
No.
Stormborn have poured through. Yonag's slumber is for naught. And it jumps down off of your hand onto the table.
The spirit tells me that the humans have gone too far into the mountain. Broken a gate with sealing. Did he say unborn?
Stormborn.
Ornborn?
Stormborn.
Stormborn.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Sorry, there was
Artist,
a loud gunshot.
yeah. Artist feels the little wooden legs start to crawl up her hand.
That is immediate shriek.
Okay.
Immediate. But she's too worried about being rude. She doesn't want to like fling her hands, so she's just like with frigid, like frozen and screeching.
Yeah.
I quickly brush off the spider off her.
Okay. Yeah, it lands back on the table.
Okay.
I did not like that.
You hear that, spider? She did not like that. It's
It raises its two front paws at you, its two front legs.
So this may be a bigger problem than we would think. But there's nothing to change of the plan.
Indeed. We still have to talk with them. Though, most likely this is going to end up in a fight. I do not wish for that.
More than that, a gate opened must be closed.
We've got to shut
All
it.
of them.
Yep.
And as this new bit of information has been revealed to you, I think this is a good spot to call it for tonight. I'd like to thank all of you for joining us as always. You can find us here every other Tuesday with Werewolf the Wild West. The alternate Tuesdays are Legend of the Five Rings, where you will see artists in a very different role. But this Friday you can join us for a Star Wars campaign that has been going on. Or you can join us next Monday for our Camarilla chapter of our Vampire the Masquerade game set in 1984 Salem, Oregon. And if not, we'll see you next week for our Legend of the Five Rings game. Like I said, please continue to wash your hands, continue to keep your distance, continue to wear your masks in public. Even though they are becoming lenient with the mask mandates, we're still not out of the woods yet. If you're old enough to get yourself vaccinated, please get yourself vaccinated. The only way we can stop this is by making sure that all of us are healthy. And speaking of health, we take mental health very seriously here on the channel. So if you feel like you need to reach out or ask for help, know that there are resources available. If you're watching live on Twitch, there's phone numbers going up in the Twitch chat. If you're watching on YouTube, it'll be in the description box below. If you are not in the United States and you'd like to reach out for help, there's a link going up so you can find the resources in the area that you live in. Please take care of yourselves, take care of each other. If you are a friend or family member of somebody that has a strong personality or happy-go-lucky personality, please check in on them because you never know how much a simple hello can change the trajectory of somebody's life. So please reach out, say hello, see how somebody's doing because it could be the lifeline they need. As always, please take care of yourselves, take care of each other. I will see you when I see you, and I'm hoping we get to see what this group can do against some Stormborn next session. Have a good night, everybody.